Well, I share the show out.
I mean, it's not bragging if they're not his lights, right?
Exactly. It's jealous. It's more jealousy.
He just wants you to see the lights.
Ant-Man. Yeah, I just want you to see the lights.
I
They're
see.
beautiful. They're beautiful.
Yeah, they're fine.
They change color.
Oh, fancy.
I am so fancy. I'm just
Here's
sharing the
your
show
one
around. It's a
chance,
pre-show, y'all.
fancy.
What was that? Were they
What?
changing color now? No.
Here's your one chance, fancy. Don't let me down.
That's my favorite song about a prostitute, about forced
Fancy
prostitute.
show, y'all.
What was that? Damn it,
What,
David.
changing color now?
I thought I turned it off. I thought it was on. The mute was on.
David,
Oh,
you
you were
great
wrong.
fool.
Well,
wrong.
it's before the show starts, so at least
It's the pre-show.
First,
It's
you
allowed
pre-show.
during the pre-show.
we're
First, you
allowed.
started cribbing on Reba McEntire, National Treasures, and then you have this stupid echo
Exactly.
thing going on.
A
I
national
don't-
treasure.
Is she a national
Uh,
treasure?
Of course she
Are
is.
you defaming the name of beloved country music
Yeah.
icon Reba McEntire? You
Here's your one
piece
chance,
of shit.
David. Here's your
I
one
would
chance,
be
David.
if there's a
Don't let me
reason to
down.
defame her. Then I would decry her. You know,
Segment 1, I watched the movie, and we'll talk about the She-Hulk trailer, I guess. That was okay.
Well, there is a lot of Disney Plus shit coming out. Like well,
right.
the one trailer, but then a lot of
Back-to-back
news.
to
Yeah,
back. I'm not talking about any of that, just the She-Hulk trailer. I mean, we can.
it's worth mentioning, you asshole, that they're doing
of course,
a
I want you
continuation.
to mention it. That's why we're talking about it now.
Yeah.
Conan, Eisner Awards. We're going to talk about most of the Eisner Awards because they are books that we are reading. The DC round robin has ended, and our worst nightmare has come true.
It's
TMNT,
fine.
It's fine. TMNT. It was the one book, though. You know what I mean?
It is the one you
book.
specifically mentioned. It's like your
Any
least
other
favorite.
book. Yeah. TMNT event, and then the return of I don't even want to ruin it for David. I'm sure he's heard, but we're definitely talking about it. One of the best image books to come out in probably the last 20 years is getting a sequel. We're going to talk about it.
Oh, I know what it is.
Ooh.
Oh, I do.
Food news. We will have an update on food news as well as new food news. One good, one bad, and you get to decide which one is good, which one is bad. We do have a moment of destruction, so if Adam does
Show up.
when I want to, J.R. Tolkien, I'm a wizard. I show up when I want to. He's a genius. But
Not
there was
a
some
great
actually-
Gandalf impersonation there, but
That's what he says. Wizards show up when they want to.
no.
And then we'll do top 3. Hey, banner week.
A Yankee and King Aragorn sport.
Hey, thanks, Bunny. Sending love. We appreciate it. Andy here. Sheila looks okay. Man, they got to touch up that CG. We'll talk about it. But
It's a
definitely,
early-
yeah.
It's an
Thanks
early
to
trailer.
everybody for showing up early.
I mean, the CGI for
We're
like
going to get
Agents
to it,
of
Dave.
S.H.I.E.L.D.
God, don't jump the gun. Is there anything else we want to add to the news this week?
No.
We may have some July cancellations. We'll talk about those as that month gets closer. But if there's nothing else to add, let's just do the thing. I'm very excited to talk about the Eisners. But my segment 1 is amazing. I can't wait.
Knock, knock. Who's there? Go fuck yourselves.
I don't know. Yes, a banner.
Tom Hanks cussing?
Man. He did
Have
it in
you
Toy
never
Story.
seen that before?
He did it in Toy Story too.
I stopped watching a lot of Tom Hanks.
That's like 30 years old.
Buzz Lightyear, go fuck yourself. Greetings, Geek. Welcome back. It's another episode of this Geek and Comics Outright Geekery's comic book shit talk show.
Shit talk show.
Gomer, AK, David, and Taylor. How is it, gentlemen?
Good.
I'm doing well.
Had a
Segment
very
1 this
good
week.
day.
Probably the best piece of cinema you will watch all year. Chippendale's Rescue Rangers. Dude, this was like amazing fun. This is like the Hollywood step cousin of Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Yeah, I was about to say it does look. It does have like it has Who Framed Roger Rabbit energy.
Roger Rabbit is in the movie.
Really? Is it
Yes.
Roger Rabbit from the movie or Roger Rabbit from the novel? Because they're very
I've heard they
different.
managed to
God,
pull
from
in
the novel.
people that they do not have the license for, and kind of impressive. in that
Is this
regard.
available on Disney Plus?
Yes, that's
Now?
what it's. Yes, right.
Oh.
You're gonna-
I mean,
you wanna
read
come
the
back to us?
fucking poster.
Do you want to come back
Or
to us
David.
later? And
Yeah. I've been very busy these last couple of days.
Sure. This was geared towards an older audience because who else would have watched Chippendale's Rescue Rangers? But no, Chippendale's Rescue Rangers is actually quite good, dude. It doesn't take itself serious. It's the perfect amount of meta. For example, like Dale goes and has CGI surgery. So now he's an updated CG animation version of himself. So it's like playing off the Hollywood, plastic surgery trope.
Which the original cartoon was very tropey because Chip and Dale were based off of Magnum PI and Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it's a fantastic movie, dude. I mean, I'm not being facetious or sarcastic at all. I fucking love this.
I'll definitely watch it when I have a chance to sit down, but I've been moving house all weekend, so that's been very busy.
That's going. So you didn't even do nothing.
I have done nothing this weekend aside from moving and reading my comic books.
That sucks.
Mm.
Dave, what'd you do this week? Anything cool?
No, I had a pretty
terrific.
terrific.
It was better than that.
I had a pretty terrific cookout today, and I got a whole rack of ribs for my trouble.
Nice, good for you.
I was gifted a whole rack of ribs.
Nice, good for you.
I'll be eating like a king for at least 2-3 days.
At least half a day. She-Hulk, Attorney at Law. This trailer was solid. I mean, let's just elephant in the room. The animation, the CG looked a little rough around the edges.
They need to polish that up. Yeah.
If they're going to get Kate, if they're going to make the She-Hulk look like Kate Beckinsale, they just might as well get Kate Beckinsale.
I don't know.
They're making her look like Tatiana Maslowski does not need to look like another person. She is quite a beautiful woman.
Yeah, she's gorgeous.
Yeah. But when they do the She-Hulk, she looks like Kate Beckinsale to me.
Whatever, but
I mean, maybe.
If they touch up the CGI, this does look pretty promising. I like the humor that was on display. I like that they kind of have the vibe for She-Hulk pretty well. Like that. That is very on brand for She-Hulk.
That is very on brand for She-Hulk, dude. Yeah. Frogman appearance. Get your Frogman first appearances ready. Exactly. It did have Dwayne Johnson Scorpion vibes. There is no fucking way in hell that the only people who noticed this were us neck-breathing fucking nerds. Okay, the folks at Disney have to understand that this shit don't look as good as it needs to look for this to be an MCU show.
I mean, we know that they have the money to do better. They've been spending the money on these MCU shows.
We've seen that they had the money to do better in like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. when they brought in Ghost Rider, because the Ghost Rider CGI was on the money for Robbie Reyes.
Yeah, and they're certainly going to pour more money into this than they poured into that.
Yeah, I think this is going to have to go like one more time through the computer. I mean, I don't know how it works. I don't know how CGI works. You know what I mean? I'm not like a animator, programmer.
Leave it a few more hours in the CGI oven.
Have to get some CGI surgery like Dale got.
Yes. We put it back in the CGI oven. It needs another 30, 45. We'll eat in an hour or so. I mean, but
it'll be
otherwise, yeah, story-wise, character-wise, everything looked good. Ruffalo was in the trailer, so
we had the Abomination in the trailer.
Yeah, A-Bomb was in there. That was cool. So, I mean, yeah, they haven't gone wrong.
When are we going to get Rick Jones?
Come on. I was just talking about Rick Jones the other day, dude. Like, in the context of Amadeus Cho, how people don't like all new Hulk. Amadeus Cho turns into Hulk. I liked Amadeus Cho as Amadeus Cho. He was really cool. He didn't need to be a Hulk.
Yeah.
Can't we have like a Rick Jones character? And then he reminded me, ain't Rick Jones a fucking Beyonder now? And I'm like, oh yeah, Rick Jones is like a Beyonder now. So I guess we can't. We can't even have a Rick Jones.
Rick Jones is one of those characters you got to ask yourself, is he actually going to add anything to the show other than, tickling people's nerd boners,
Exactly. And there's nothing wrong with that. But
sure, but
they should make him be a bigger thing. So, all right, let's do the news. If nobody's got any fucking ribs and moving, boy.
Well, you were helping somebody move last week,
David. You gotta wait for that world thing to go away. You come in way too loud while it's going,
dude. I did not help them do anything for that move. All I did was drive the U-Haul back to the U-Haul place, and my wife bought me lunch.
Well, that was nice.
I know. So
you got a treat.
That's an unsurprising lack of work on your part there.
You're right. It is kind of on brand.
It is. It is actually.
Oh yeah, I'll help you, and then I just never show up.
Or you show up and you delegate.
No, I didn't even delegate. They were like, "No, we're good." They didn't really have that much. Not like me. I had 30 boxes of comics, 15 boxes of toys, outside of like short boxes, 15 boxes. Anyway, let's go. Conan. It is official. We talked about it last week, and it's the only reason we're talking about it now. Conan is gone from Marvel, and if you read Savage Avengers, it does appear that they may be setting up to just leave him, back where he started. The final original Conan comic will be King Conan #6, due out in July. It's going to publish collected editions through December, but what we're hearing from Heroic Signatures, who now holds that license, Marvel decided not to extend their license. That's weird to me.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I get it.
I mean, I'm going to assume that the number guys assumed that it wasn't giving him a good return on investment.
Sure.
I mean, there's always a home for it at IDW or Dark Horse.
Well, we just said Heroic Signatures is planning to create push new comics.
I mean, weirdly enough, though, a lot of the stuff that has had Conan in it has been really good.
It's Jerry Duggan, man. That dude can turn shit into sugar. He can just write whatever the fuck he wants, But yeah, there's your follow-up for the Conan news. We would have been, not doing our job if we didn't mention that, because we did mention the rumor last week. All right, Eisner's. Back to the actual news. We're going to go through all of these, and we're going to talk about them because there's a lot of good favorites on here. Best single issue one-shot. Taylor, if you had to guess. Any book, single issue one-shot.
Maybe that crossover thing with Chip Zdarsky wrote about himself.
No, that is not on here. That is a good one, though. But no, Nightwing 87.
All right, good.
Ed Grayson, Tom Taylor, Bruno Redondo is on this list.
That was the one where it was one giant montage action scene, right?
Panel, yeah.
A great addition, yeah.
Yeah, that's why I mentioned that one. Wonder Woman Historia is also on there from DeConnick and Jimenez, an awesome book. Wolven Daughter, Mouse Guard, The Owlin Caregiver, and Marvel Voices Identity #1. Best continuing series. Bitterroot, The Department of Truth, Immortal Hulk, Nightwing, and Something is Killing the Children. Holy shit. Those literally are the best books that have been on shelves within the past year.
But the Immortal Hulk has it's gone
been within
now.
a year. No,
yeah,
I think
but it's been within a year.
Yeah, I mean, it was I think last summer that it wrapped up finally.
Yeah.
But I mean, I was all over that book's nuts the whole time it was coming out.
Department of Truth. I can't quit talking about that book. Nightwing. We don't shut up. We're gonna rave about it later on.
We will,
today. And then Something is Killing the Children is
which
just
is great,
phenomenal. Best limited series. Taylor, what would your nomination for?
Beta Ray Bill would be my pick.
Beta Ray Bill, Argent Star by Danny Warren Johnson is on the nomination list.
Hell yeah!
Along with Good Asian, Hocus Pocus, Many Deaths of Layla Starr. That's a Ram V book.
Okay.
Stray Dogs, which is my choice for this because I was a huge fan of that book, by Tony Fleecs and Trish Forstner, and Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow by Tom King and Belkis Evely. Man, the one Tom King book that I think all of us ignored.
Which one was that?
The Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow.
Yeah, I never picked up a single issue of that.
Yeah, we just ignored the hell out of that book. Sorry, Brandon, I missed you. For Conan, I think it'd be a copyright issue too. Yeah. Yeah, something's got to change there. We'll see where it goes. I'm still going to pick up those books and talk about them. Oh, dude, Frankie, yes. Stray Dogs was so good. I mean, I love that shit. Trish Forstner's fucking amazing, too. Anyway, best new series, Human Target, Tom King and Greg Smallwood. Nice House on the Lake, another James Tynion book. Huh? Not All Robots, Mark Russell and Mike Diodato Jr. Yeah, AWA. Getting some Eisner love. Radiant Black. A book David just cannot stop raving about.
I love Radiant Black.
I know you do.
And now the universe is expanding.
Yeah, that's Kyle Higgins and Marcello Costa. And then Ultra Mega by James Herron.
Another book I like.
Yeah.
Me and Adam liked.
Yeah. Best publication for early readers. I just wanted to mention I Am Oprah Winfrey by Brad Meltzer and Chris Eliopoulos because I love both of those guys. Chris Eliopoulos is just amazing. And he is my favorite letterer of all time, but he's a hell of a cartoonist. So, best writer, Brubaker, DeConnick, Ram V, James Tynion the fourth. Those are your nominees.
That's a pretty packed field right there.
Hard. That is really packed field, dude. I mean, Kelly Sue isn't going to get it. I just don't think she has enough material.
There's always going to be snubs on a list like that, but who do we say is the biggest snub here?
Tom King's probably a big snub. I would also say that Tom Taylor is a big snub here.
Yeah, it's a pretty big snub.
It kind of sucks that Hickman didn't get a nod in his bow out of X-Men. You know what I mean? It would have been nice to give him.
I'm sure that there's politics at play with the Eisners, just like any other award thing, where they don't want to be doing the same people every time if they can avoid it.
Still, James Tynion, I mean, he on this list every fucking year.
Well, that's true. I mean, some
also,
people seem to be immune to that. Like, how many fucking Oscars has, like, Frances McDermott won and been nominated for,
Also, definitely Jeff Lemire, but I could put Jeff Lemire on a list, forever. So, now, best writer-artist combo, Alison Bechdel, Junji Ito, Danny Warren Johnson, Will McPhail, and Barry Windsor Smith. Best penciler, inkler, or pencil inkler team, Felipe Andrade, Phil Jimenez, Bruno Redondo, Esad Ripik, and Craig Russell getting a nod for that work on Norse mythology, which is not a great book, but, I mean, it's drawn, really well. Now, best painter multimedia artist. And that's really weird because they split up the art category in these ways. But Federico Bertolucci, John Bolton, Juan Cavia, Frank Pay, Elena Sardukin, and Sana Takeda over on Monstrous. So I'm pretty sure she has won this several times for that book, but it's well deserved, anytime.
Yeah, I mean, basically the cover art is the art in the book. I mean, there's no deviation there. It's wonderful.
Funny. That's funny. That's funny. Cover artist Jen Bartel, David Mack, Bruno Redondo again. Alex Ross getting a shout out for all the cool shit he did at Marvel, and Julian Tatina Tedesco, one of my personal favorites. Getting a lot of love there. Also Yoshi Yoshitani, for I Am Not Starfire, The Blue Flame, Giga, and Witchblood, which were really good. Coloring Andrade, Dodson, O'Neill, Jacob Phillips is getting a shout out there, and Matt Wilson. So
hey.
Yeah, those are your nominees. We'll have more on those winners once they come out, but that's like the big one. Eisner's like the really big one, the one that we really
the one everybody pays attention to.
Yeah. But again, like Taylor said, there are always books that just are missing, and creators who are missing, and it's just not great.
I mean, someone's got to be off the list,
It's true.
It doesn't make it where it doesn't suck, but,
yeah,
it is ultimately always going to be a problem.
Yeah. So we'll have more on that, though, eventually. So DC Round Robin, we're finally there. We're at the end of the road. Now we've come. DC Round Robin, it was this pretty okay. What was it? Dark something. What the hell was it? Suicide Squad
Suicide Squad Dark, yeah.
Which is not a terrible concept.
I mean, it's a concept they've already done, basically, with, like, Justice League Dark and, whatever that Jason Todd Suicide Squad thing is, but
yeah, that's wild too.
Zombie Squad, whatever that is.
Yeah. Anyway,
Squad
so
Z.
many cool sounding books. Even the Captain Carrot book would have been better than Superboy.
I mean,
The Man of Tomorrow.
This for people who are fans of the character, the character has been put into comic book jail ever since they've done like that reboot.
That's true.
He has John Kent is eating all of his lunch,
You're not wrong. So maybe the dude does need to get some love.
I imagine that's what put him over the hump here,
Sure. Give him love. Oh, he's forgotten. Nobody's talking about him. Well, I really
everybody's going.
I'm sure the book will be fine.
I'll definitely read it. We'll talk
But
about
I agree with you.
Sure.
That Green Lantern book was probably the top of the pick for us here at the podcast.
And
I
race conspiracy book.
I did kind of check out once that one was eliminated.
Yeah. But yeah, Superboy, Man of Tomorrow, we will talk about that book at some point. It is
pretty though that the one you specifically mentioned in the first round.
I know, the one I specifically said, man, I don't that ain't gonna win. Kenny Porter and Yanoi Lindsay, I don't know how to pronounce his name. Beating out the Suicide Squad Dark by Zach Thomas and Gary Brown, 72% to 28% with 3,500 votes.
I'm surprised it was that lopsided.
Wow.
Very lopsided, man. Like the Connor Kent fanboys just come out, and good for them. I mean, that's what it was all about. Any of the fanboys could have come out. I wasn't really pushing, for a book at all throughout the history of the thing, even when a lot of the ones I wanted to win were still in it. But alas, Moving on, IDW losing a lot of shit very shortly. But Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles could not be in better hands. The Armageddon game is an 8-issue miniseries coming in August. It's all about the Rat King doing his thing. Tom Waltz with Vincenzo Federici are going to be doing the hard work. There's an Eastman cover, of course. Yeah, there you go, Lucho. Sorry. Yeah, go check out Licho's page, I guess. I don't know. I've never been there. But yeah, this is going to be cool. The Turtles, under the leadership of Shredder, which I'm still not used to, begin a dangerous quest to seek out allies against the Rat King's trio of terror, Leather Krang, Baxter Stockman, one of the best, and Madame Knoll. It's a mission that will see our heroes spread out across New York City and across multiple dimensions.
Yeah, they've been building towards this because in this continuity, Rat King is kind of like a godlike entity residing in New York, and he's been going to other godlike like his brothers and sisters, which are also gods.
It's wild, dude.
And
it's like a council of reeds. It's like a council of Rat Kings.
No, it's not. It's not Rat Kings.
I know, but they're other gods who are like on his level, like not his versions of him. It's not like a multiverse.
No, it's not. It's different. It's different creatures. Like one of them's like a mammoth, and one of them's like a jaguar.
I think Gomer's comparison is still apt.
Yeah, they're all new though. They're all still new characters. Yeah,
the whole multi-dimensional Illuminati thing. I think.
Yeah, kind of like that, dude. Yeah, and it's cool, man. They're really having a good time.
Yeah, it's been building very, very slowly. They've taken kind of a hiatus from the build to do that whole Venus de Milo thing,
and that's fine. I think she'll be a good addition. Once they work out all the bugs and things like that. But
yeah, it's Frankenstein story right now.
Yeah. There was a whole bunch of other news, little one hits I could have done, and we'll talk about those books, but I would have been remiss.
Hey, the
Shirtless Bear Fighter #2. The little book that could, man. It's just so dumb, so stupid. Jody LaHoop and Neil Vendrell are back this August, a new story arc. Fans can barely wait.
He's going international, folks.
Yeah,
he's fighting koala bears.
I mean, it's so.
That is a wonderful cover right there.
I love this one. Like
I love that.
Yeah, it's like got an old like pulp feel to it.
Yeah. This is just a big dumb stupid book that's just so fun. I love it so much.
It is great. It is just it is on another level fun.
Yeah. This is gonna hit shelves August 17th, and you can bet your life we are definitely gonna talk about that when it comes out. Next week, we don't have any TV this week, but next week I think it's Obi-Wan, right? This Friday.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan.
The wait is over next week. Yeah.
Yup, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and the Stranger Things too is probably what I'll be watching, but it's got to all be about Obi-Wan.
Man, I never watched season 3 of Stranger Things. I need to sit down and do that sometime.
This season's supposed to be extra huge. It's like split into 2 parts. It's going to be crazy. So I'm sure we'll talk about that, but we got to do food.
Yummy.
After years of just being tossed aside by Taco Bell, the Mexican pizza has returned. So as a follow-up, I did get one. It was all right.
I did too.
It was just all right.
It's as good as I remember it.
It's all right.
I don't remember them cutting it before.
I don't remember them cutting it before either.
I mean, nothing from Taco Bell is good. Let's not fool ourselves.
Right. Yeah, it's just all right. Yeah.
But it was good to have it back.
Yeah, I guess. Swiss Miss introduces new Cinnamon Toast Crunch Cinnamilk Hot Drink Mix. I don't know. Is this the good one or the bad one? You'll have to be the judge.
Why couldn't they just put this as a creamer for coffee?
That's a good idea. They probably have that. They probably.
I mean, you probably could use it as that.
Yeah, you could probably just pour your dust in there with your marshmallows, and this actually comes with.
Just stir it in like a pack, like you would sugar or something,
Yeah. All right. I like what they're doing here is they're making the milk that is left over after eating Cinnamon Toast Crunch and turning that into a hot chocolate, quote unquote, hot chocolate flavor. I don't know where the hot comes in. You know what I mean? I'm not sure I want the Cinnamon Toast Crunch milk.
I mean, Cinnamon Toast Crunch specifically, I can't think of a context where you want that hot, but adding cinnamon to hot chocolate doesn't sound like a bad idea.
No,
I could just do that, though. I could just do that.
Well, they recognized that this was a chance to have corporate synergy happen. You know,
It's weird. It's weird. So yeah, I don't know if this is the bad one or if this is the bad one. As Pepsi,
this is the one I was certain was going to be on here today.
Pepsi unveils new Pepsi-roni pizza topped with Pepsi-infused pepperoni. That's the most disgusting thing I could think of.
I don't know how you infuse like Pepsi flavor into pepperoni in the first place.
Are you injecting it or is it
is it like a glaze or something? Like,
I don't know.
But how are they even distributing this? Like, are they working with like a pizza chain or something?
That's an excellent question. Exclusive to New York City, the Pepsi-roni pizza will also follow its New York debut with select rollouts in a handful of other popular pizza markets around the country. So it's
Chicago.
like a pepperoni pizza tour.
Gotham City.
Yes, Gotham's got the best pizza.
Gotham City's not even known for its pizza.
This is the bad one. This for sure is the bad one.
Pepsi and pepperoni the fusion. Yeah, it's the worst Dragon Ball Z episode ever. Dude, I bet Gotham's got the worst style pizza.
I mean, Gotham Pizza, there's like a 50-50 chance every time you eat one that some supervillain has like put Joker gas or like mind controlled stuff or fear gas.
That's what's happened here.
Yeah.
They put Pepsi in the pepperoni. We need fucking Batman.
I wonder
this shit up.
I wonder how on point the like little Pepsi logo decals on the pepperonis are actually going to be.
It might actually be on point depending on the technique they use.
How do you even do that?
You know this is going to be some mass-produced thing they just slap out. You know that's not going to be the highest quality.
Something turned out from a machine.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's potentially going to do that. Otherwise, I would advise you to look at how they make hard candies, the shapes in hard candies.
I don't mind Pepsi, and I love pepperoni pizza, but this just seems like such an odd mix to me.
I am not a fan of Pepsi. I hate Pepsi.
Pepsi's fine.
I don't know about that. I like the Pepsi Man video game.
Oh, that's weird. That's notoriously very bad.
It's fun watching people speedrun that game, because they just talk shit the whole time. It's good. But yeah, if you get your hands on some of that pizza, definitely let us know. Okay, we want to know how. It's like, oh yeah, you can really get the notes of Pepsi. Let's go to hell.
Oh, these pepperoni have an aftertaste.
Hey, before we move on, though, I did want to mention
like hair. Pepsi tastes like you're drinking hair. I'm sorry, it just does.
I don't think it's that bad, but I would choose Coke. I would choose Coke every time if given the choice.
Pepsi is very sweet.
When I go to a restaurant and they say, "Is Pepsi okay?" I say no, but I mean, what am I going to make you go across the street? Am I going to make you go somewhere else? No, I mean. Of course.
Well, I mean, if they have Pepsi, it's not a thing I give a second thought to. It's fine.
I'd prefer sweet tea over Pepsi, but I digress.
Give me some lemonade.
But I wanted to mention real quick before we moved on from the news. I meant to mention they are bringing back Daredevil.
Oh yeah, they are bringing back the Daredevil.
Yeah, that was part of the Disney Plus stuff that I mentioned. Wanted to say there. Oh, well.
Thank you, Andy. It's official. Pepsi is the worst. Andy said so.
But yeah,
they are bringing back Daredevil. We know very little.
We do know that it's going to be it's going to be a continuation. It's not a reboot. So, and that does make sense. It was pound for pound the best of the Netflix shows.
I wanted to bring back D'Onofrio. I want Kingpin to be blind like he was for a while.
They've introduced Kingpin and Daredevil into various shows and movies. So, they've been priming the pump for this.
Yeah, I want all the folks to come back.
I'm sure they will. Deborah Ann Wall is like doing D&D shit now, but I'm sure she could be convinced to come back.
Yeah, she's doing that one for on D&D Beyond.
It's rad too.
Tales of Multiverse or something like that.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's do top 3. Who wants to go first? You guys think about it while we do the intro. I don't want to decide. I get to decide? If I can decide,
do it. Slacker, go first.
Okay, I'll go first. Yeah, I'm stoked about Daredevil 2, Andy. I mean, anything they do is solid with me. Anything Marvel wants to do on their TV shows is just fucking dope. I have a few honorable mentions. I want to mention Savage Avengers by Pepos and Magno. Solid debut. But it does look like Conan is, going home. I haven't mentioned that. Hold on. There it is. Yeah, they're back in Hyboria by the end of that. I also wanted to mention a book that I don't think will get mentioned. Duo #1.
That is also
that one. Yeah,
that's also in my honorable mentions.
awesome. Greg Pak, Koi Pham, Scott Hanna, a really solid debut issue. It's in that Milestone Earth M universe. An engaged couple, right, are scientists, and they're working on nanotech that's going to heal people. But the next step in their research is going to require them to use a human mind to direct these nanites the right way, right? So there's an explosion caused at their house by a corporate raider, and it injures David. So Kelly uses the nanotech with her mind, but the nanites get confused, and they use her body as a resource to heal David. And it also takes her consciousness along with it. So it's kind of like Nuclear Man, Firestorm. You know, there's two people in there.
Yeah,
but
kind of similar to that shtick.
Yeah, but they're like really in love, and they know each other, and they're super smart scientists.
It's a more compelling dynamic than Firestorm
really
usually ends up with.
Yeah. I mean, Greg Pak always doing great work, but I had to mention that book because I was just really super surprised of how much I enjoyed it. But it was a big X week, and it's going to show in my list. Number 3, Wolverine. Number 21, Ben Percy, Adam Kubert. This is just a Deadpool arc where Deadpool wants to join Krakoa. The art was great. Ben Percy is one of those guys who just needs to be mentioned. Like, why wouldn't he nominate for an Eisner? Because he's up there. He could do it. He's just doing great.
He doesn't write that. It's kind of like with the Oscars, right? Where there's certain types of books that don't get the nods.
Exactly. Danger
the fun
shows up.
ones,
Yeah, Danger shows up and is doing her thing. And then there's this at the end. Like, this is what was in the briefcase. It's like a Danger Professor X. Like, I don't know, man. Cerebro, but for Danger. And it was just really good. Great art, fun design. And I wanted to make it a big X week. So Wolverine, number 21, is my number 3. All right, going around the clock. Big D.
All righty. So you already mentioned duos in your honorable mentions.
Very good book.
All righty.
Very good book.
Town Called Terror number 2 was pretty good.
Yeah, I got a screen for that. It was. Simon Kurjansky, that's the only reason to read this. Steve Niles is a great horror writer, but they're really showing off the art in this book, man.
Yeah, it was the art was very, very.
Ooh, it's visceral.
Yeah, that's a good word for it. Just
visceral.
Very vibrant and violent, and
a
lot of smirking going on.
There was a lot of smirking. Definitely a lot of smirking.
Hit Me number 3 was pretty good. And
I don't think I got that, but yeah, it was very good. It was solid.
The last book I'll put in my honorable mentions is also Savage Avengers number 1. I don't follow a lot of Avengers. I don't follow a lot of Conan. Good book, but I'm kind of not up to par or up to snuff on the storylines and stuff. So
yeah, these are a lot of characters where if you don't know what's going on with them, this book isn't really going to let you know what's going on with them. But I'm not sure it matters because just from the look of these guys, you kind of know what they're all about.
There's a very Terminator-esque element to it with Deadlock.
Yes. Yeah.
So
and that's always the way there is with Deadlock. Yeah. So yeah, solid book. But your number 3.
My number 3 is I Hate This Place.
Oh, was that this week?
Yes.
Oh man.
The one also known as Fuck This Place, right?
Yes, Fuck This Place.
Man, that should have went on my list. I love that book.
The best way I can, if for anybody who's kind of into the paranormal or cryptozoology and stuff, this book is essentially Skinwalker Ranch, the comic book.
Yeah. But it really leans into the tropes.
It does. But there's a lot of
in a good way.
There's a lot of elements that if you've listened to stories about Skinwalker Ranch and the people who live there, there's a lot of elements specifically about the ranch in the book that kind of mimic or mirror Skinwalker Ranch.
It's definitely a satire of several different places, not just Skinwalker Ranch. There's no UFOs in the talk about Skinwalker Ranch.
Oh, there's UFOs in talk about Skinwalker Ranch.
Oh, is there?
There's anything and everything you can imagine is talked about in Skinwalker Ranch.
Yeah.
There's UFOs, there's portals to other worlds, there's ghosts, there's phantom dogs.
That's what this book is all about. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a solid book, man. Good choice.
And I think we're
getting put this on my list. I don't know how I missed it.
But
I just read it early last week.
Yeah, just a lot of world building going on. We
paying for your privilege there.
Paying for my privilege. That's right.
Yeah, there's a lot of world building going on because we start off with like 3 guys meeting in the woods because they apparently just robbed a bank or something, and the one guy pretty much pulls a Joker and he's going to kill the other two guys, but apparently the Force kills them first. The Woods killed him.
The Woods killed him.
The guy shows up later on as a hired hand at the ranch. So there's a lot of there's another story going on here that's outside of the paranormal.
Yeah.
But we got these this compelling couple, and one of them's like a doomsday prepper, and she's like loves the place. The girl that inherited the place hates the place, but the doomsday prepper's like, I like this place. So
and she just wants to stay there long enough to make some money.
Yeah, she wants to stay there long enough to sell it, but if you've listened to like Art Bell and you've listened to some of like these other paranormal type shows, there are a lot of elements that they've mentioned about Skinwalker Ranch that do show up in the book.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting, actually. Yeah, I had a great time with this book, man. I can't believe I didn't put it on my list. Oh, well. Taylor. Honorable mentions.
I'll do an honorable mention for Fantastic Four number 43. It's more of that Reckoning War stuff, but as you can tell on the cover, it's mostly about Doom doing some big flex moves, and I'm always down for that.
Sure.
And what I predicted a few weeks ago about the whole thing with Uatu, where it actually wasn't true that he had fucked things up by interfering, I called it, and I was right. So, just wanted to put that out there.
Nice. Nice.
Also, an honorable mention for Immortal X-Men number 2. This one was fun. It was a good showcase of Hope and how she is, in fact, a badass,
She is Betsy badass. I love that they talk about Storm and Magneto here.
Yeah, they could handle it on their own if they needed to, but
they don't really have to try if they want.
But yeah.
Classic Sinister stuff going on here.
Sinister's always fun. It's good to see here. Yeah, it was just a crowded X week, and this was just my least favorite of the three. But otherwise, yeah, it was a very good book. I don't want to.
It was fantastic. Any other X week, it definitely would have made my top 3.
Yeah.
Any other week.
But my number 3, also an X book, is New Mutants number 25. I have been missing this book.
This is my number 1 book.
Yeah, this is Magic passing off the leadership of Limbo. And I love the framing device with like the children's fairy tale making parallel. And also, the artwork in this is to die for. I love all the imagery. I love all the... Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's gorgeous. And then they have 2 artists on it. It's
we get in the back, we get that classic looking art.
Classic, like old
like in that 1980s shit,
from it.
Yeah.
John Byrne and all that.
This is a perfect comic, dude. It was spectacular.
Yeah,
it was good enough of this book.
It was a crowded top of the heap this week, but it came down to like personal taste, I guess, for my top 3. But this easily This easily would have been number 1 most weeks for sure.
Yeah, it did everything right. It hit that nostalgia feel. It was updated. It was within Krakoa. It had action throughout the whole damn book. It's great character moments. I just love where this book continues to go. Every time it comes out, it's so good.
This is one of the top tier X-Men books. Anyone who hasn't been checking it out, you need to go back and read since Ayala took over writing. It's been great.
So good. I even liked it before then, but
it was fine before then, just a little inconsistent, but it has really hit its stride with this new creative team.
Yeah, excellent choice, Andy, because that's my number 1 too. Anyway, back around to me, I guess. My number 2 book, because it's an all X week, X-Men Red number 2.
This is my number 1.
Al Ewing, Stefano Caselli. I mean, there's not really much to say. There's just so much cool shit going on.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really talk about it without giving just like the blow by blow. But I love Vulcan in here. I love how
Abigail always.
Yeah, Abigail and her scheming, and also Storm like pulling a fast one on her by like totally disrupting her schemes. Yeah, and I love the splintering, right? Now that we know that Abigail's the bad guy here, it is kind of cool to see like Manifold,
trusting his gut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love that, he is bringing up it's a funny coincidence how you were dropping that of all the places that satellite could have fallen down, it was going down on my country,
Yep.
So, it's good to see him not be a fool here, because I really like him as a character.
Yeah. If anybody on the team isn't going to get over, I don't want him to be gotten over. You know what I mean? Because Abigail's really good at getting over on everybody, but just damn great fight here with the progenitors.
And coming in under the radar,
setting up Vulcan and Tarn is fucking amazing.
Now that that's really cool from just like oh man, I'd really love to see that fight perspective, and it's also really cool to see like the political angle of this.
Yes, where
Um,
Vulcan can take some power on the damn council.
That'd be
on the
interesting.
Iraqi
I mean,
circle, dude.
Tarn's no slouch, but Vulcan is like a god, so that'd be really interesting to see how that goes.
Yeah.
But low key, also really cool is Fisher King. Apparently, he has a really interesting backstory that they're doing a good job hinting at us, because like when he shows up with the Brotherhood to help them fight, they're all like, "Oh, it's the Captain at Midnight," or whatever it is they call him. Like, he was the what now? The normal ass human apparently has like a scary reputation, and that's pretty cool to see.
Yeah, I love what Al Ewing does all the time. Stefano Caselli is one of the living greats over at Marvel. It's just a fun fucking book, and that's really the theme for all.
We didn't even talk about Storm just dunking on Vulcan towards the end of the issue too.
It's just amazing, and I mean that's basically leading right into Abigail's hands. Just Vulcan is just.
I mean, it is and it isn't. Because like she thwarted Abigail's like plans there, but that's what makes Abigail such a good character too, because like she had a plan that was like the backup plan, like even when she doesn't get what she wants, she still gets what she wants. And that's like she's really good at setting up like her gambits. It's really cool to play out.
Just perfect, man. Again, there were a lot of good books this week, and most of them were X books. So that was my number 2. Dave, you're up for number 2, man.
Number 2.
Take a number 2 on him.
Fables 151.
Oh, I didn't grab that one either.
Oh my gosh, this basically starts off immediately at the aftermath of like the final issue of the series. But
I decided in the shop that like I have every other Fables in trade, so I'm gonna wait to get this in trade.
That's how I'm buying it too.
But we get introduced to a new character, and apparently they're going to go hunt for Geppetto. There's a hunt for Geppetto about to happen.
Oh, cool!
That is interesting. I mean, they're kind of picking up with like the big bad.
Yeah, basically they basically said that Geppetto was warned not to do anything in the real world, and what did he do? He came to the real world, and now he's got to pay a price. So start assembling a team.
That's awesome. So they're going to get like an X-Force.
I don't know.
Fucking
maybe
Spec Ops team,
something like that. I think
I think
that's where it's going.
Damn, that's fucking cool.
So we get introduced.
I should have just gotten it.
We get introduced to a new character named Gwen, who is also known as Jack of the Green. She got it fair and square, and she goes talk to the old Jack of the Green, and he's like, "That's bullshit. I'm still Jack of the Green." So there's a great dynamic going on there, and he's like, "I was never an archer." She's like, "Well, you need an archer now. That's the new way of doing things." It's pretty good.
That's awesome.
But yeah, it's dealing with
excellent choice.
It's dealing with just really good stuff, and always Fables delivers. Fables has always delivered.
I mean, Fables has a bigger pedigree behind it than almost any other book you could name.
Yeah. So what are you up to? Number 2 for Taylor?
Yeah, my number 2 was Nightwing, number 92.
Excellent choice.
This is always a good book. It's always a lot of fun. Tom Taylor is great at setting up these character dynamics. It was really cool seeing the different ways that Dick and Bruce kind of approach the same situation. But the real big moment of the book, of course, was Alfred being the world's greatest mom,
Yeah. I mean, that's really the only way to put it, man. And then I love this Perez right here and Wolfman right here.
Yeah, that was a great
Very well done. Just so fucking cool.
That's a great way to frame it too, like Nightwing, like, acknowledge
Raven Adam.
Yeah.
Just so fucking cool, man. And then, they're building an Alfred statue. Just like any Bruno Redondo work, you get one of these. Just because it's amazing.
Just wonderful city.
Oh my God.
I mean, the last 2 issues haven't been like, slouches in the art department, but it is great to see Bruno back.
You miss him. You miss Bruno.
You miss
Redondo.
him when he's gone. Yeah.
He's Eisner nominated for this book. Okay. Period. That's why. You miss him when he's not on this book. Nightwing's retired from my top 3, or this would have been my number 1 book this week. It was perfect. It struck at the heart chords. I was getting misty-eyed, just like I do. I love that their plan to screw everything up is to have the Flash just run around and then have Superman show up so nobody's going to try anything. You know, it's like
Yeah.
Dick Grayson doesn't need a bodyguard, but everybody thinks he needs a bodyguard, so he gets the best fucking bodyguards on the planet, the two most powerful beings on the fucking planet as his bodyguards.
They handle this so smartly, you know,
Yep.
like I like how they kind of deconstruct the whole like, oh no, stay out of my turf, Superman, you know, but like, yeah, Superman, yeah, come on, yeah, let's come for the opening, you know?
Yeah, dude, yeah. And there's also this idea that the way the way Nightwing is fighting this crime, right, is just smart as fuck. Like, all right, I'm not gonna. These guys are wearing masks, you know, so they don't want to be seen. The cameras are all off. My backups cameras are on. I'm just gonna take all their hoods off. Now I know who they are, and they know I know who they are. You know what I mean? And it's like,
Yeah.
what is getting paid really worth? You know, you're gonna come attack my family. Now I know who you are, and I know Superman, and I know the Flash. So it's like, do you really want to fuck with me? And that's basically what he was saying to these guys.
Yeah.
You know, and it was just so well done. Just super
Also a
smart.
really good stinger too. We have that
Yeah.
I forget his name, Heartbreaker, maybe.
Yeah.
Heart something. But yeah, they've been teasing him for a while, and it's kind of
Yeah.
cool to see like he's teaming up with the other main antagonist now.
I think the last time we saw him was that fire, where there was that fire.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Pretty much handed Dick his ass. You know, not completely, but
he definitely established himself as a credible threat.
yeah, for sure, for sure. Great book. That comes to me number one. My number one was, again, New Mutants, number 25. Just a fantastic book. I love this book so much. The art is beautiful. Here, I love this page because everybody is just so gorgeous. The art, look at the emotion, you know, and then the emotion. It's just a wonderfully done comic book from every level, you know, from top to bottom. It's fantastic. So, yeah, New Mutants number 25 was my number one. Dave doesn't have to tell anybody what his number one is.
Shaolin Cowboy.
Shaolin Cowboy.
Cruel to be kin.
I knew this as soon as it was announced. I knew this was David's number one book.
You can never go wrong with Jeff Darrow's artwork.
He's amazing.
It is beautiful. It is detailed.
It's funny as fuck.
It is very self-irreverent. Yeah, there's just this great. It's being told as a series of flashbacks by this Komodo dragon, not the one in this particular picture.
Yeah, he's a baby in this.
It's freshly hatched, and its father was already trying to eat it, and just all of it, you know, Shaolin Cowboy comes up to basically
save the day.
But it's just this wonderful fight going on with this guy. I don't know, literally a jellyfish, a floating jellyfish. This very
I don't even have that. It's so dumb, but it is so awesome.
Like that pterodactyl looking thing is basically it has a German accent.
Yeah.
But this book, just like all of Shaolin Cowboy stuff, from Burly Man Press to Dark Horse Comics, it delivers. It always delivers great art. The stories sometimes are a little hard to follow because, you know, you have crabs that have beef with Shaolin Cowboy. You got zombies.
Dude, this whole book is just one Komodo dragon telling a story to another Komodo dragon.
It's one Komodo dragon.
Just FYI, that's all you really need to know.
It's
about
just
the
a
book.
recounting. It's just a recounting of this one Komodo dragon's early 60 seconds of life. That my father tried to eat me as I hatched, and Shaolin Cowboy come up and defended me, and forever I am in his debt. And it's great. I'm very excited to see where this goes because, like I said, this book always delivers action, craziness, rolled up in a beautiful package.
Yeah, and it's all about the art too for me. The story is always just but it's always good action.
It's always going to be great sequential storytelling. I mean, the story is not going to be the reason you read this book.
Yeah. And it's still a solid story. It's fun. It's entertaining. So
they're always irreverent. But, you know, Jeff Darrow has always done this throughout his career at Dark Horse. Right. He's done, Hard Boiled and just other books like this.
Yeah. All right. Is there one more?
Taylor
mine was X-Men Red number 2, but we already talked about that.
Yeah. Awesome. Thor 25 was also solid. Transformers number 43 was the end of the road, the last issue of that, but still somehow not the last issue of that. We'll talk more about that maybe later. And yeah, you didn't mention Flash.
I wasn't able
Flash
to get my
was
hand
okay.
on that one.
Oh, that sucks. Eternals number 12 was setting up Judgment Day. It was okay. Again, it was a really, really solid week of comics. So happy. We got to talk about it. I don't know what we got. Flash. Yeah, Flash was dope, Andy. Flash is always good. So awesome, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. We really appreciate it. If you like what we're doing, check out the Bullies. They got their own show. It's going to be on this Facebook group or page. Yeah, the page. So stay tuned for that. If you want more links, outrightgeekery.com got links to everything the Bullies do, plus everything we got going on. Links to all of our social media, links to YouTube pages and merch, Patreon, all kinds of shit. You name it, we got it. So definitely check that out. We got another show. We'll be doing it tomorrow. Probably just a Gomer and Taylor show, unless Adam shows up.
Yeah, I won't be here for that.
Yeah, we're going to talk about all of the new comics dropping this week, and there's some good ones. It's a relatively light compared to this week, but damn, this week was fucking huge. So, yeah, we're going to talk about that tomorrow, so come back for that. Again, thanks for hanging out, everybody, but most of all, thanks to these guys for hanging out with this guy.
Anytime.
We are going to do it again next time.
Same geek time, same geek channel.
Man, that fucked this place. I can't believe I forgot all about that. I read it way early. I thought it was last week.